joining the MSP Corner. Today, well, I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I am joined by two guests. We have Melvi Kadhi, and he is the CEO of ShortCut. He has over 8 years of experience in the IT industry, and we are well, he's going to be sharing what his IT firm has to bring to the MSP industry because they are working primarily with the MSP industry. And we're joined by his colleague Fatian. He's a senior systems administrator and he has over 8 years of experience. But real quickly, ShortCut is offering the MSP industry a custom solution that allows MSPs to leverage their expertise for projects or specific expertise for support, remote support. So, but I'm gonna hand it off to Malvi and Fatian to have them explain the value they bring to the MSP industry. So, Malvi and Fatian, thanks for joining, guys. So let's start off. You know, a lot of so let me the conversations that we have with a lot of MSPs is it's sometimes very challenging to locate a specific expert, right? And if you're building a company and you need part-time support, nobody wants to come and work for you part-time unless they have their own business and they can take on additional work and partner with you. But some organizations might have a tough time finding that type of partnerships. So this is where you guys can step in and provide part-time support for skill sets across the board. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, and that's very challenging for the small MSPs that are out there. Let's say that they want for a project, for example, like very few hours, or they want to extend the current service that they have with few more hours, and it's very difficult to get somebody in-house, let's say, in your company that is just going to be working like 2 3 hours a day for you, for example.
Exactly.
But with our team, we have like first of all the team that we have 50 plus employees. Everybody is in IT expert in different fields, and we start with level 1 to level 2 help desk to tech support, the usual stuff that an MSP will have. And then we can go like even in a more like a higher level of expertise when you want somebody like Fation, for example, who is a system administrator for different types of system, Windows or Linux. And what we can easily facilitate is that we can be very we can execute really fast, and we can be highly customizable. So we can help an MSP, for example, through the journey, like from being a small MSP and then continuing to be medium size. We can grow with them, let's say, for the support part. We need a very short notice to execute. We start with a minimum of 20 hours per week, let's say, if you would want continuous service from us. But if you would want just project work and you have something you want to implement a new infrastructure, and it's going to last like maybe a few weeks or a few months, we could facilitate that as well. And yeah, as I said, like we have in our team a variety of skill sets, starting from even level 1. Let's say that somebody just is going to answer a phone call for your clients or answer those emails, to level 2 when it's somebody more expert who actually is able to do some research and use your systems and be able to close successfully these tickets. And we go to the high level of expertise, like people like Fation, who can actually take care of a project from beginning to the end. And then eventually, of course, if they would want to, we can continue to manage the system for these systems for our clients.
So Melvi, let's say I'm an MSP and I only need a server guy 10 hours a month,
Mhm.
right? We make a commitment to you and say, hey, you know what? We only need him to work let's say 5 hours every week, right? Remotely. He can Um, he has specific tasks. You can give him specific tasks. But do you provide that much flexibility, or do you want a certain amount of commitment made each month from an MSP? And what is that minimum commitment?
So the minimum commitment, if you want something continuous, let's say, would be 20 hours per week. Okay.
20 hours per
And
week.
those 20 hours, it's not that we are just gonna have one person there for you. So it's gonna be team as a service. I'm sure you're familiar with the term, but it's not gonna be just one person. So we can guarantee you these hours, but the person might be off, might have a vacation, might have a sick days, but Shortcut is always going to be responsible to have somebody there for those hours. And so usually it's going to be at least two people that are trained, even for 20 hours per week service, let's say. It's going to be a
Okay.
minimum person that is there as a backup. However, now, if you would want a very small project that you, as you said, you want just 5 hours per week for a month, we could do that as well, but uh, it's just it would be considered as a project. Like if you would want something continuous to agree on, the minimum that we agree on is like 20 hours per week.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. And is that
There's
the
something
same?
that I'd like to add here, Fernando, if possible.
Yeah.
So when we have this kind of conversations, we always talk about this amount of hours, this amount of work that people do, but what we focus mostly is the quality of the service. So we don't try to bill the customers for as many hours as possible, but we try to make as much work as possible, quality work, and then the hours will be depending on the result.
So Melvi, what about a junior level administrator, say a help desk person? Let's say, is that the same thing for them? 20 hours a week, you would, let's say we're in California and I said, hey, Melvi, I need somebody 20 hours a week. I need them to answer the phone from
Mhm.
10 a.m. till 3 p.m. every day and solve all the problems. Is that something you could do also?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
definitely one of our uh, one of the solutions that we provide, and one of the most successful ones. Say, like
Okay. Good.
usually, yeah, it offers some stability to the client. But as I told you, like the idea is that we are going to always have a backup person. It's not just we're going to provide this person for you. We're going to provide
Okay.
those hours of service to you, and there is a main person that works during those hours. But in the case it's something, you know, uh, like a person needs a day off or something, we are gonna still have somebody available as a backup for
Gotcha.
this MSP.
And do we need to do MSPs need to use your tools, or do you use their tools? Do you provide that flexibility?
In 95% of the cases, we use their tools, and this
Okay.
solution is like much easier to implement. Like even the phone system, for example, if you want, like usually now everything is online and online PBX. You just get an extension, doesn't matter where you are, and
Gotcha.
you can work from there. But I don't know, like every client, it's much easier for both sides, I think, at the end of the day, to use their systems. If they would want to, we can use our own internal system, like ticketing system, our own PBX and so on. But just gonna add a layer and we're gonna make it a little bit more complicated.
Now, are you just working on specific operating systems? Do you work on Linux and Windows, Azure, AWS for when it comes to servers and virtual environments, VMware, things like that? Do you guys have that expertise?
That's gonna be on Fation, maybe to give more details here. So,
Yeah, sure. So that's one of the challenges that small to medium MSPs face.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Uh, so
exactly.
they will onboard the new customer, their current resources, they are familiar, let's say, with Azure, but they onboard the customer whose infrastructure is on AWS, for example.
Yep.
At Shortcut, we have large number of resources who are specialized on these different technologies. Like
Oh,
it's not
beautiful.
just me, for example, that know everything. I don't know everything, but we
Yeah.
have a team. We have a team that we work together on multiple projects, and everyone has their strongest skills, and together it's a team that does the work. And as you said, like we have experience working with different cloud environments. We have experience with on-premise. We have experience with Windows, with Linux. We have people with these kind of skills.
Okay, good. That's good to know because it's tough to find this skill set, right? These guys are, they may be a one-man shop, but it's difficult to know everything, right? And single point of contact works with, primarily IT firms. So they come to us for cloud migrations, building servers in the cloud. And some of these projects can be complex because there's business continuity strategies they need to implement, and failovers and things like that. So it's good to know you guys have that experience to work in multiple on multiple platforms. So I'm going to assume, I don't want to assume, but I have to ask, you guys are providing 24/7 support.
Yeah, it's up to 24/7 support, depending on the hours, and we can adapt even the 20 hours that we said before per week. You can choose your time zone.
Okay, let me ask you guys. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a tough one. This is a tough one because they came to me the other day, and you guys are obviously overseas. If I came to you and I said, hey guys, I need you to build me a team that answers the phone as my organization, and they only speak German. I got this request the other day where they're talking to an organization that they only want support in German. It's a some large organization in Germany, and they don't want to manage the in-house help desk. So they want an external team to answer the phone, but they provide support in German. Is that possible, or are you guys just limited to your country?
We are focused in English, it's not
English,
something
English
that,
only. Okay.
English.
Okay.
Like we have contracts, we're gonna offer, let's say, French as a backup language.
French. Okay.
But it's not something that we are focused on, and it could take a little bit longer to execute. Like all the solution that we speak and we spoke about before, if you want a fast solution, easily customizable, I don't want to promise things that we cannot deliver quickly or on time. So we're just focused on English for now. This is something that we do really well. This is all the team expertise.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Let's touch on Cisco environments, right? You have Cisco, you got Meraki out there, you got Fortinet, you got SonicWall. Do you guys have expertise in order to, procure these technologies, manage them, maintain them, or do you guys stick to just only Cisco?
We are flexible. I would like to add Juniper to all of that.
Oh, good. Well, that's good because you know what, Juniper, I've had trouble finding Juniper experts. So that I'm glad you brought that up. Juniper is also another popular product out here, but it's primarily used in very large enterprise infrastructure. So that's good to know that you guys have that expertise. Because yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is that's one of Cisco's main competitors.
Yeah.
So
and in terms of procuring, Fernando, I'd like to say that we can do that, but we usually do it on behalf of the customer. Like different MSPs or ISPs that we work with, they have partnership with vendors, so we can act on their behalf.
Okay.
We don't have partnership as a shortcut with these kind of organizations, but we do this process on behalf of our customers.
Okay.
And of course, after that, preparing and building the solution.
Gotcha. All right. One of the always questions that I get is, what type of terms do you guys require? Is this a 1-year contract? Is it month to month, or how much flexibility do you guys provide in that area? Because these guys, they have tight budgets. They have and they have commitment issues.
Yeah. I understand the point, and it's so first, if it is going to be a project, let's say, we just commit on like how long the project is going to be, and we can even start like with a 1-month project as long as we agree before that. All the other type of work, like continuous work, if you want something for us, like starting from 20 hours up to 24/7, that's something that we're trying to start with zero commitment, but eventually we would need some stability ourselves as well. And the longest contract that we have is just like 3 months contract. Okay, so that's the longest commitment. But we start with a 1 month that is 50% off always, and with 1 month free cancellation. So you don't like our service after 1 month, you don't have to pay anything. There's
Oh, wow, that's
no
great.
financial. Yeah.
Okay.
So just we want, and during the first 3 months is month to month. So we just want to make sure that we are happy with the relationship, and that's why we stay. And we put the 3 months in place just to make sure that internally we have we are stable and we are fair with our employees as well, in the sense that we know how many people we need to hire. We need at least to have this like 3 months stability internally.
Sure.
And this is why we decided to go with the 90 days. But that's the longest that we do. And we do that once both parties are comfortable with the service that we offer.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Great to know. You know, I'm out of questions. You guys have provided a lot of great information. I'm going to share with my group in my newsletter. I don't know if you guys have signed up for my newsletter, but it goes out every week. But I'll include this webinar so we get the word out about ShortCut, because I think you guys offer a great model that is a good fit for a lot of IT firms, because I have these conversations every week with, IT firms, right? And if you guys can dedicate resources to them for a certain amount of time every week, it could be something that could be a good fit for a lot of IT firms. So good to know.
Yeah, thank you, Fernando, for the time. And it's always nice to talk to you. I just want to finalize that our cost is very attractive for all these projects. So, like our solutions, the fact that we're being able to do this mostly offshore, it comes with a very attractive cost
Awesome.
for all these MSPs. So, yeah, that'll be all.
Well, I want to, I'm going to give everybody your, if you guys want to reach out to Melvy, his address is melvy@shortcut.ca, Charlie America. And if you want to visit his website, it's shortcut.ca. But feel free to reach out to him, and if you have any questions. And if you guys, well, that's pretty much a wrap. So I appreciate you guys making time for me. And to everybody who's listening, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you.